You wrote a really lovely piece in the New York Times, and I want to read something from it. But first, I just want to ask you. I mean, looking at these images that we have been seeing throughout the days and nights this week, what goes through your mind?
It's just been so heartbreaking. I literally have wept sometimes. Don't worry, I won't cry on your show, but I literally have. I mean, it's just nothing I thought I'd ever see, that kind of destruction. I mean, it's gone. That whole wing of the White House is gone.
Which is where I mean, your mom had her offices there.
She did. Yeah, as did many first ladies. Rosalind Carter was the first lady who established her own personal office there. But I mean, there was so much history there. And, I wondered a few times, especially when I was watching this footage, what the people who are actually doing the demolition thought and felt. The people operating that machinery, or maybe they didn't allow themselves to feel anything. Maybe they just thought, this is a job and I have to do it. We'll probably never know. But I did wonder about it as they're ramming things into this building and it's crumbling like this. I don't know. I just wondered what they felt.
You wrote in the Times, you said, you described the White House as, quote, not just a building made of brick and plaster, it was the people's house, a building suffused with the spirit of the ideals that built it. It was a building that invited you to look beyond your own life, your own reality, to something bigger, a huge story we all inhabit. To stand in such a place makes you feel small, yet also larger than just yourself. It makes you aware of the continuum of history in a way that feels akin to sacredness. I mean, first of all, it's beautiful, and you are a lovely writer. It's yeah. I mean, I can't imagine having the personal experience. I know you didn't spend a lot of time there, during those years, but you went back, I believe, when your dad died.
Yeah, it was really, it was so interesting because when my father was president, I really I didn't absorb everything that I wrote about the sacredness of that environment and the weight of history and everything because I was so pissed off at what had happened to my life, this intrusion into my
Uh,
life, right? That I couldn't see past my own resentment. I mean, certainly intellectually, I appreciated the White House, but I didn't. It couldn't get past, my own drama, my own personal drama, right? So after my father died and we were in Washington, D.C. for his service, my brother and his wife and I got an invitation to go into the White House, to go on a tour of the White House, which we did. And, it was sort of a perfect time for me to do that because my
mm,
father had just died. I was grieving. And, grief kind of opens up the seams in you and in your inner being, right? You
mm.
absorb things more deeply, you experience things more deeply. And we went in through the East Wing. And I remember the minute I walked in there, feeling history brushing past me
Mm.
everywhere I looked and feeling just really awestruck. And I'm so grateful that I got to have that experience.
It's interesting that this destruction is in service of building a ginormous ballroom. I keep thinking of that iconic image of Princess Diana and John Travolta at a party at the White House given by your parents. I mean, in terms of glamorous evenings, it does not get much better than this. Seems like they had enough room to create some magical moments. And I do want to say there's a couple of pictures from this, not this one, I think, but where you can actually see my mom way in the back because your mom invited my mom to that night. Yeah. And, like, how iconic is this? I mean, that is glamour.
I know. I know. And what really also makes me so sad is that there are kids growing up now. Well, your kids will never get to go into that place and feel that history and
Mm,
feel, experience all these women who made their mark on this country in that wing of the White House,
yeah.
you
Penny
know?
Davis, it's always lovely to have you on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right. Up